Hello and welcome to my video. It's CraftyRia. Well, today I'm going to recycle another Christmas card into a shaker card. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and video. This is the card that I'm going to be using. It is really pretty. It has an embossed silver edge with a really pretty snow scene on the inside. So I think it's going to make a really good shaker card. The inside, the sentiment on the inside is foil embossed as well, so that'll be really pretty. I don't know if you remember from my Happy Mail, I had got a snowman pack, and in it was this little package of confetti. So I'm going to go ahead and use this in the shaker card, but that's not really enough of the sequins and confetti to fill up this large card. So I have some of this snow and I have some silver glitter that I thought I would use for the inside of the shaker card. I'm trying this technique. It's new and different for me, a little different than the other shaker cards I made, so I hope it works out. If not, then we'll have a blooper video. So I'm going to start, of course, by cutting off the front of the card. And again, I want to cut it as close to that fold as I can. I'm going to trim a little bit more because I got it too close to the fold and there's a little crease there. Okay, so we have the card. While I have my trimmer out, I'm going to cut the sentiment out from the middle of the card. Or I should say the inside, not the middle. Alright, so we have the sentiment. I will set that aside. I already cut a card base out of a sheet of 8.5 by 11 piece of just plain white cardstock. Nothing fancy, but it does match the front of the card exactly. So I'm going to start by doing the hard part. I'm going to use my craft knife and cut this design out right around that silver edge, as close as I can to the silver. And there we have it. I have to see which side went where, because I want to make sure I keep the top and the bottom the same. Alright, so this is the top. I'm going to cheat and I'm going to write on the back. I just wrote the word top right up there. You won't see it later, it'll be covered up, but I just want to make sure I have it correct. Okay, so I want to go ahead and adhere this piece down to the card, but I want to make sure it's centered perfectly. So what I'm going to do is center this up inside my card. I have a little piece of washi tape, and I'm just going to stick it there just so it holds the two pieces together. And I'm going to put tape on the back of just the center part. Then I'm going to take my card with the folded side down and then the top of this down on the flat on the table, so I make sure it lines up completely, because I can trim the other three sides, but I cannot trim the fold. And I'm just going to push this down. And that way that piece in the center is perfectly centered where I want it to be. And take my washi off carefully. And then take that off. So now this is centered on the card where it needs to be. I'm going to build my shaker box, put it down, and then put this over top of it. So what I'm going to use for my shaker box is just simply a page protector. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet page protector. The top is folded and creased, but that's not going to matter because I'm not going to use that piece. So I'm going to line it up on the card, and I want to make the rectangle just a tiny bit smaller than the outside of the card, but yet obviously it has to be bigger than this design. So I'm going to put it there. I'm going to use I'll use the wide end. My Sharpie marker, you can use any permanent marker, and I'm going to make a mark over here, and I'm going to make a mark over here, and again kind of in this corner. So then with my ruler, I'm going to draw my outline. You can use any type of a clear acetate that you have. I just happen to have these page protectors readily available, so I went ahead and used it. And then I'm going to cut this out along that line. It doesn't have to be perfect because it will be hidden. I'm going to save this piece for something else, and then I'll cut down this other side. Now what I want to do for this, I want to make this a pocket because I want to stuff this with all of those goodies. So in order to make it a pocket, I have this really cool score tape. It's 1/8 of an inch wide. And I'm going to start with a piece. I'm going to put it on this. Actually, I think I'll put it, I'll put it on the short side first. This tape rips really easy with your fingers. So what I want to do is to make sure I get it all the way to that corner and just run it right along the edge. And then I will go ahead and do the long side. I'm not taking the backing off yet. Just going to put it right along the edge. You guys can't see how I'm holding my tongue, which is good. I usually stick my tongue out when I do work like this. Okay, I'm going to use my bone folder and just burnish that tape down on that one side, just to make sure it's making a really good contact. I'm going to start by pulling off the backing of this long piece and just letting that seal down. Now, if you have one of those food savers, I would guess you could probably use that to seal up your sides as well. So I have that side sealed up pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and stuff this with what I want to stuff it with now. Obviously, the first thing I want to stuff it with is this confetti, or the sequins, or whatever you call them. And then I'm going to kind of hold it over top of this just to get an idea of how they would be if they've moved around. I don't want to put too much stuff in it, but yet I want it to be kind of cool. So then I'm going to take a little bit of this cool snow and pour a little bit in this bag as well. And again, I'm going to mix it all up and see how it's going to look on here. Like I said, I don't want too much stuff to totally obstruct the view, but I do want it to look like it's snowing a little bit. I might add just a little bit more of this. Again, I have that Jenna Marbles gene where I don't know when to stop. Kind of hold that. I think that looks kind of nice. I have it all over my desk. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of this silver glitter. This is just cheapo silver glitter from the Dollar Tree. It's not fancy. Well, I don't know if this is from the Dollar Tree, but they have the same stuff at the Dollar Tree. It's chunky. It's not very fine glitter. I think for the shaker boxes, something chunkier like that looks pretty good. Okay, so then I will pull this extra piece of tape off and seal it up. I want to make sure nothing is going to stick to this tape. I don't want any stuff to leak out. Now, if you didn't get your tape exactly into the corners, that's okay. You can just take a little tiny piece of Scotch tape or something and put it over that, just so you can't see it through the thing. So there you go. You have that. And when it's down, it'll look like there's just a little bit of snow on the ground, because then that's going to be covered up with this. I think that's kind of neat. So then I want to adhere this to this. So I can still see that the top is there. And to make my life easier, I'm going to put the piece that was factory sealed on the bottom, just in case anything came up. And I'm going to go ahead and use this adhesive all the way around the edge. I want to make sure it sticks really, really good. And I want to double check and make sure I got it on all the sides. And the corners and all that good stuff. Okay, so there's the top, and the bottom's going to have the factory sealed portion on it. And I'm just going to kind of just eyeball this and line it up so it's sort of centered, and I'm going to press it down really good. There's a little bit of air in it, which is okay, because that'll help the stuff shake around in the middle. And that's how it's going to look on there. So what you can do, you can either use some foam tape on this to hold it up above, or you can, tape it down so it's flat. With this kind of shaker box, it's really nice because you can keep it flat. You don't have to raise it up with foam tape. So in order to help it stick really good, I'm going to use more of this scor-tape. I have this thicker scor-tape. It's 1/4 of an inch. And I'll go ahead and put this all the way around the edge. And I want it on the edge close to the edge of the card. This scor-tape is really strong. It does a great job holding down your paper, and I'm just using the edge of this wood block to tear it in a straight line. If I remember, I will put a link to the scor-tape below if I can find it on Amazon. I don't remember where I got this. It was some sort of a clearance deal a couple years ago. Maybe not a clearance, but some kind of a cool buy. I know I didn't pay full price for it. I'm a cheapskate. And then I feel that it's going to be really important to line this up with the image rather than the edge of the card. So I'm going to carefully hover this over the image. I might get my head in the screen. I'm going to try not to, because I need to have it nice and straight over that image. There we go. And then I'm going to push it down really good. I wanted the tape close to the edge rather than in the center, because I do want as much fluid movement as I can get towards the center. I don't want to constrain it. So there we go. We have kind of a really easy shaker card, and you can do this with any kind of a shape that you have, and just use a page protector. You've already got two sides already sealed, and just seal up the other side with whatever you have. You can even use Scotch tape on the edge and fold it over, whatever works for you. So there we go. We have a nice, easy shaker card. And I just need to put the sentiment on the inside. I'm trying to see what scraps I have available on my desk to use on the back of the shaker. I have that green. And I have the blue, which I like the blue better. So let's go ahead and put this on that blue. I don't always plan everything ahead, and I didn't plan to have a piece of paper to mat this on. I was hoping that was straight. I think it came out pretty straight. Looks pretty good. All right, there you go. That's a really neat shaker card. This is a pretty big card, and it ended up being kind of heavy, and I think with the envelope it might be more than 1 ounce. But my husband wanted some cards to hand out at work, so this will be one of the ones I give to him to hand out at work, so it doesn't have to go through the mail. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're crafting. If you haven't yet joined my Facebook group, the link will be in the description below. It is the Create with CraftyRia Facebook group, and that way you can come and share the creations you're making as well. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below as usual. Thank you so much, and again, I appreciate all of you. Bye-bye. Now go get crafting.